It's ladies semi-finals day, and we had one shock yesterday with the surprise exit of Serena Williams. Today, the first semi-final saw the Chinese number 6 seed Li Na up against Maria Sharapova, the 2nd seed, and many people's tipped for the title here this year. But Sharapova, who had only lost 9 games in the run-up to this semi-final, was beaten pretty easily. 6-2, 6-2 it finished. Some people suggesting that Sharapova's route to the semi-final had been just too easy. She hadn't been tested enough, so wasn't on her tip-top form when she was faced with a determined terrier of an opponent like Li Na. Li Na, though, is no mug. She was a finalist here in 2011, of course, won the French Open in that same year. And after a bit of a poor first half of last year, she then brought in a new coach, Carlos Rodriguez, and really stepped up her game. So it's Li Na in Saturday evening's final. The big question now is, who is she going to face? And that second semi-final is a good way through on the Rod Laver Arena behind me. It's the defending champion and world number 1, Victoria Azarenka, against that big surprise story from yesterday, the 19-year-old American Sloane Stephens, playing in her first Grand Slam semi-final. No titles to her name. It was always going to be a tough ask for Stephens heading into this one after that incredible high yesterday. She was up for a very long time, answering messages, taking phone calls home, and she was broken in the first game of the match and lost the first set 6-1, very much overpowered by Azarenka. But it has to be said, she's putting up a better fight of it in the second set. She did go a couple of match points down, but managed to survive those, and it's now 5-4 in the second set. Azarenka went over on her ankle. She's also currently I'm seeing a trainer having a medical timeout for some treatment on her back. So that one's very finely poised. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. But what we do know, Li Na is through to the final.
All right, all very exciting on the women's side. So what about the men?
Yeah, it's quite unusual here. Normally you have women's semi-finals one day, men's semi-finals the next. But actually, what we have here in the evening session is the first of the men's semi-final, and it's the defending champion and world number 1, Novak Djokovic, taking on Spain's David Ferrer. He's the 4th seed here this year because Rafael Nadal is out injured. Ferrer himself has said he doesn't feel he deserves to be up in that category of the top 4 players. But he's a determined guy. He's one that will chase every ball. Both of Djokovic and Ferrer, known as the marathon men, both had really tough games in the last round. But it's Djokovic very much the favourite, and he'll be hoping to book his place in the final and then win that and become the first man to win the Australian Open men's title 3 years in a row.